Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome. So, I've done the setup. We'll be beginning. Would you like to run Idle Cafe? Very first one. And we'll be reading through all the dialogue. I've lowered the music so it should be too overpowering and I should be heard quite easily. We have a total of 16 answers, choices that we must answer, but we may only go through 13 when we make the manual save at the end, and then part 2 will probably just be reading out the 3 separate endings for the platinum. But I'll see how I'm feeling when we get there and how long it takes. So let us begin. My name is Yokoyama Naoya, and I'm an average guy. I'm of medium height with a medium build, and my hair is dull and brown. I doubt you'd be able to pick me up from a crowd. It would probably be an understatement to say I don't stand out very much. There's nothing to commend me, nor anything to make me appear special. But I wasn't always this ordinary. I went through a rebellious period back in my second year of high school. Subsequently, I fell in with a gang of delinquents, and I did everything I could to emulate them. I bleached my hair blonde. I began cursing people indiscriminately, and I even learned how to ride a motorbike. I stopped attending school, and my performance plummeted. My grades used to be pretty good, but after my transformation, I plummeted to the very bottom of the class. My parents despaired in me, as did my teachers. What in the world has gotten into you, Naoya? It's like you've changed overnight. This isn't the sweet, well-behaved boy I remember. My mum often said, more like sobbed, words such as this to me with tears in her eyes. She was so worried about me. Going back home, starting to feel like a pain. Sometimes I didn't return home at all, and crashed for the night on the couches of my fellow gang members. I kept this up all the way into my third year of school. I didn't cut it out until a few months before university entrance exams rolled around. It was about this time that I realized, with a jolt, how stupid I was being. I was throwing my future away. And for what? Wasn't I wasting my time? I did a bit of soul searching and came to the conclusion that I didn't want to remain a delinquent. Sure, it was all fun and games when I was a teenager. But what about when I got older? How would I ever be able to hold down a job or make a living? Odds were I'd end up embroiled in something shady and then get sent to prison. That was the jolt I needed to wake me up. I dyed my hair back to its original colour. I began to speak in a more refined and polite manner, and I started to take my education seriously. It was like the last 2 years of my life had never happened. I began studying for my university entrance exams alongside my best and now my only friend, Ichigo. I worked hard, but it was in vain. I wasn't able to pass the entrance exams, which might be expected given how little attention I'd paid in the last half of high school. I have every intention of applying to university again, so I can get a degree and hopefully a semi-decent job, but that'll have to wait until next year. First, I've got to hit the books. It's a daunting idea, trying to cram about 2 years' worth of info into my head in only one. But I think I'll be able to do it. I might be average, but I'm pretty tenacious, and I don't back down from challenges. My stubbornness might be one of my redeeming qualities. I don't want my life to revolve around nothing but studying, though. If I'm going to get back on the straight and narrow, I'll need to start looking for some sort of job. If I was still living with my parents, it wouldn't be such a big deal, but I'm not. I'm actually living with my friend Ichigo. It's a long story. We're not living in an expensive city, but rent still isn't cheap. Ichigo has her parents to help her out, but I explicitly told my own folks I'd like to try and hack this whole independent living thing alone without their aid. I'd feel kind of guilty if they bailed me out after I spent so much time screwing around. I guess this is my way of making it up to them, whilst trying to prove that I'm not a totally lost cause. I can reinvent myself, and that's precisely what I'm going to do. To do that, though, I need a job. I've been searching for a few weeks, sending out endless job applications. And now, after all that hard work, I've finally been invited for a job interview at a local cafe. It's situated by the beach, and it's called the Seaside Cafe. I've seen the cafe a few times in passing, and it looks pretty nice. Though, when I say that, I really mean the girls who work there look pretty nice. So, it's not a maid cafe per se. It's one of those places where the waitresses wear frilly skirts and aprons. Apparently, the cafe is short on hands and they're looking for a new waiter. Being a waiter is not the most glamorous of jobs, and neither is it all that well paying. But it's still good. Honest work, it's a start. I can't really afford to be choosy, given my lack of qualifications, not to mention my few criminal convictions. I'm glad I was given a chance, and I don't intend to squander it. I've wasted too much time already. I'm under no delusions that this job interview will be an easy one, though. If the interviewer has done their homework, they should know all about my past indiscretions. I bet they'll rake me over the coals for it. Who would want to work with a shoplifter? I might be reformed now, but still, it's not a good look. I'm by no means an attractive hire, but I'll try to go into the interview with optimism. I'm sure things will be fine. I hope they'll be fine. I can do this, can't I? My, look at you. Aren't you a cute boy? You far exceeded my expectations. Thanks, I guess. I surveyed the owner of the Seaside Cafe over a table in the break room. She introduced herself to me about 5 minutes ago as Miyamori Ayane, the proprietress of the Seaside Cafe. She's a fairly attractive woman, I suppose, probably in her late 20s to early 30s. So, given all the makeup she's wearing, it's hard to get an accurate read on her age. It's not like I can come out and ask her about it either. I've heard women are pretty sensitive about that stuff, about stuff like that. Miss Miyamori giggles coquettishly. You really are a darling. I think you would fit in quite well in my establishment. Several pretty young girls work here, but we have a dire shortage of handsome young men. I am a proponent of equal rights, and I think it's important to level the playing field a bit. Pretty girls bring in more customers, but I can't solely employ the fairer sex. It wouldn't be fair. Right, so, I shift uneasily in my chair. I hope I'm not sweating. That would that wouldn't make for a good first impression. Not that it matters, I guess. Miyamori seems taken with me already. Are you interested in giving me a position? But of course. Miss Miyamori claps her hands together. You are a very sweet boy, and humble too. I love well-behaved children like you. Children? I frown. I'm not in high school anymore, you know. I'm an adult. There should be no problems then. I would be very happy to welcome you to a seaside cafe here in Aoya. So she's calling me by my given name, not my family name. Talk about forward. This woman seems kind of shameless. But given her attire, I guess that's a no-brainer. It might just be my imagination. I hope it's my imagination. But it looks suspiciously like she's trying to push her chest together. Crap, I should probably stop staring. I'm very flattered, Miss Miyamori. You're calling me that? Miyamori pouts. That's so stiff and formal. Well, this is a job interview. I'm trying to be polite. Oh, you. Miss Miyamori laughs and waves one hand in my direction. You worry too much. I do like serious boys, but you can afford to loosen up. This is no longer a job interview here. You already have the job. Boy, that was fast. She didn't even ask me any questions beyond whether I have a girlfriend and if I think her clothes suit her. Something smells fishy here, and that isn't because we're so close to the beach. Now, why don't you loosen up? You can call me Ayane, just like everybody else. We're all one big family in the seaside cafe. I'm everybody's hard-working, reliable big sister. Everybody under this roof calls me Ayane, even Mayuki, though it took her a while to warm up to the idea. She's very serious, just like you. I think the pair of you might get on. In fact, Mayuki, I guess she's one of the girls who works here. If I'm going to work here myself, I'll probably meet her soon enough. That's something of an exciting prospect. But this flimsy excuse for a job interview has left me feeling a bit disconcerted. I think I'll keep calling you Miss Miyamori if it's all the same to you. I wouldn't want to overstep my boundaries, and I don't want to invite her to overstep her boundaries either. I think she's probably teasing, but you never know. That's how it is. She pouts. You really are serious. But never mind. I'm sure your cute big sister will be able to warm you up. Cracking me is going to be a challenge. I can hardly wait. Yeah, it sounds great. I'm glad you want to offer me this position, Miss Miyamori, but I do have a few questions, such as I frowned. Didn't you look into my past at all? I thought that was a pretty standard procedure when taking on new hires. Of course, I always do my due diligence. Why do you ask? Well, I frowned deeply. I'm not sure why I'm trying to sabotage my own chances. It seems self-defeating. I should be glad Miss Miyamori is willing to overlook my past, and I am, but isn't this a little too easy? Don't you know that I used to be in a gang back in high school? I wasn't the greatest of guys. Oh yes, I know all about that. Then you should know I got into trouble with the police too. Yes, indeed, you were caught shoplifting, weren't you? That's right. It's very funny. I wouldn't think it to look at you now. When I learned of your past, I thought you'd be a tall, foul-talking boy with bleached blonde hair and tattoos. But you look quite ordinary. Well, yeah, I've done my best to clean up my act. I'm an adult now, but back then I was a stupid kid. I got into a lot of fights and did and said stuff I didn't mean. There was no real reason for it. I just wanted to stand out and feel special. But this was in the past, yes? It was almost a year ago, and I failed to see the issue. There's no reason why I should mistrust you when you are doing your best to put your best foot forward. I believe that everybody deserves a second chance, regardless of what they have done, with a few exceptions, of course. You've never stabbed anybody, have you? What? Of course not. Or shot them? Where would I even get a gun? Or dissolved anybody's in acid? No way, that's evil. I was just a petty thug, not a stone cold killer. Then there's no problem. I can forgive a bit of shoplifting and even a few fist fights. Boys will be boys, as they say. You were very, very naughty. Your poor parents must have been beside themselves. But that has nothing to do with me. I am not your mother. I am your cute, reliable big sister, and I can forgive you for your past mistakes, provided they remain in the past. You wouldn't want to rob me, would you? No, I already said I'm not like that, not anymore. Very good. You're such a sweet boy. Miyamori rises from the chair and smiles. Here's a heads up, though. If you did betray my trust, I'd be beside myself. I think I'd cry. You wouldn't want to break your pretty big sister's heart, would you? No, I wouldn't. Then this arrangement between the two of us should work out wonderfully. I'm looking forward to working with you, Naoya. Right, you too. Thank you for this opportunity. It's alright. You don't need to thank me, and don't be so distant. I might be your boss, but I'll have you calling me Ayane before the week is out. Right. I'm not sure if I like the sound of that laugh. It's kind of creepy. Would you like me to show you around the cafe? I'll give you a brief rundown of all your duties, and I'll introduce you to our cute waitresses. Now, this is what I was really looking forward to. The waitresses in the Seaside Cafe are unmistakably beautiful, and they're around my age. I don't mean any offense towards Miss Miyamori, but I'm not into women much older than me. I'd far rather flirt with girls my own age. Hey, first trophy. Beating the maze. So, this is the new guy we'll be working with. A pretty girl with long dark hair who Miss Miyamori introduces as Mayuki. Surveys me with pursed lips. wearing a cute black maid dress with a white ruffled apron. A large red ribbon is tied at her throat, like a bow on a present, and her trim waist is clinched in by yet another ribbon, which is white. Her outfit's pretty standard as far as maid dresses go, not that I know much about that. But there is one unique point amongst her apparel which stands out. She's wearing what appears to be a pair of cat ears on her head. Is that part of the dress code in the Seaside Cafe? I suppose it's not impossible. But the other waitress standing next to me, Hugh, she calls, isn't wearing cat ears. Is this something Mayuki asked to wear herself? I don't really get it. Strange though Mayuki's appearance is, she is pretty cute, as is cute. Now, I wonder which of them is the cutest. Mayuki. After giving it some thought, I've decided the victor simply has to be Mayuki. Those fox cat ears of hers are too cute for words. I wish she wouldn't flare up like that though. I should stop pontificating about my co-workers' appearances. So, Miss Miyamori is talking. That's right. This is Naoya, Yoko Yama Naoya. He's going to be working as a waiter starting tomorrow, effective immediately. Huh? Tomorrow? Mayuki and I vocalize our surprise at the same time, our voices overlapping. She looks about as incredulous as I feel. Miss Miyamori frowns. Why do the pair of you look so surprised? Aren't you glad I want you to work here ASAP, Naoya? Oh, yes, I am glad. Of course I am, but, well, I scratch my cheek with my index finger. I didn't know I was meant to start so soon. I feel like I still have a lot to learn. You'll be fine. This is a relatively simple job. I'm sure you'll pick it up fast. Smart boy like you. Besides, it's always better to throw people in at the deep end when they're trying something new. Haven't you heard of sink or swim? That's how it is. Mayuki pouts. I can't tell you how to run your business, but neither would I presume to. But I did worry about this guy. If he does sink, he might drag the Seaside Cafe's reputation down with him. It'll be fine. I have faith in Naoya. He seems like a dependable boy. You should try to have a bit more faith in him too, Mayuki. Turn that frown upside down. I'm sorry, but I'll have to decline. I know that if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. And I foresee some difficulties with this new hire. Dude, the silver-haired waitress blinks. But you don't have to, kid. Mayuki. You cannot tell the future. How could you possibly know that? I don't think you have with you. Mayuki makes little quotation marks with her fingers to know that this guy can't be trusted. Hey! Why is Mayuki glaring at me like that? I've known her for less than 5 minutes and she's already acting like she can't stand me. What have you got against me? I haven't done anything to you. Not yet, you haven't. And I hope it remains that way. Really though, you don't seem like the sort who would make for a good waiter. And why is that? I don't know. It's hard to describe. There's just something about your face, I guess. Or maybe about your manners. Then again, it could be your whole existence. It's irritating. Well, geez. I roll my eyes. Thanks for the advice, ma'am. But I don't know how workable it is. can't help being alive. Really? Hugh's single visible eye, the other is hidden by her silvery hair, stares at me. Her gaze is uncommonly piercing, and I can't meet it for too long without trembling. For a girl who doesn't say much, she has a pretty intense aura. Your life and death status is something you can change if you desire, but I can understand if you would not wish to do that. It is quite the big commitment. What in the world is this girl talking about? Maggie's plain old aggressive, but she is downright creepy. Yeah, it's a big commitment, alright. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I don't think I'm ready to shuffle off the mortal coil just yet. I mean, I've only just got this job. I know, you won't die just yet. I'm glad to hear it. That will happen much, much later. When you are in your 70s, you'll suffer from heart problems, then pass away at home, surrounded by your loved ones. Huh? How'd you work that out? I just know these things. But how? I have a gift. What gift? This gift of hers is the ability to spook people. Then I should say she's doing a pretty damn good job, Albert. I'm really starting to get chills here. Oh, never mind. Putting all that nonsense to one side. Makey waves one hand carelessly. She doesn't seem particularly fazed by Q's grim prognosis. Is she used to it? I still don't like this boy. He has a bad attitude, and I don't like his way of talking. You're not a member of the Yakuza, are you? Huh? I stare at Makey, slack-jawed. It's true I used to be a delinquent, but I never joined the Yakuza. I had some common sense, even back then, and I didn't want to get involved in anything too shady. I have a police record, and I've been in a number of fights, but I've never smuggled illegal drugs or committed murder. I don't think I'd have the heart for that. Of course, I'm not a member of the Yakuza. Do you think I'd want to work here if I was? Well, I don't know. It could be a front. A front for what? For evil, illicit things. You just look disreputable. I bet you're the type of guy who'd try to hold a girl's hand on the very first date. You creep. No, wait. I think that's pretty normal. That's exactly what a degenerate would say. Macy turns to Miss Miyamori, still scowling. I don't want to work with this guy. Really? I couldn't tell. Well, I suppose I have no choice. If you've already offered him a position, I'll try to behave myself when we are together. But if he does anything to cause offense, I'll be sure to let you know. I am a heroine of love and justice, and I cannot in good conscience let criminals roam free. Love and justice, huh? Make you see nothing but incendiary towards me, but this turn of phrase still prompts a smile. There's something nostalgic about it. You aren't a fan of magical girl shows, are you? What? Of course I'm not. Where did you get a silly idea like that? Right. I guess that proves it. Maiki, despite her serious demeanor, is a huge fan of cute kids' cartoons. Who would have thunk? Now, everybody, let's all try to get along. I'll do my best. Keep promises to keep his hands to himself. I haven't even done anything yet. Not yet, but she will. Aha, that proves it. Naoki stabs a finger at me, trying to think me. Even Ku's saying she doesn't trust you either. No, that isn't it. I just have a feeling. Events are now being set into motion. We're going to work together, and then, who knows? Q stares at me, her visible eye wide. I cannot predict what or when, but something big is going to happen. I can feel it. Here we are. Welcome back. I'm greeted when I return home to the cheery sing-song tone of my best and only friend, Suzuki Ichigo. Ichigo and I go way back. I guess you could call us childhood friends. We used to live next door to each other, and we went to the same elementary, middle, and high schools. We walked to school together when we were kids, and since our mums were good friends, she'd always be around at my house during the weekend. I guess it's inevitable we become close, despite being similar on many counts. My relationship with Ichigo kind of dropped off during my second year in high school after I fell into those delinquents. I barely spoke to Ichigo at all, and our relationship seemed on the verge of crumbling until I wised up. Ichigo helped me study for my university entrance exams, and though I didn't pass, I appreciated all the help she gave me. Ichigo did pass her exams, however, and now she's training to be a nurse at a small, cozy campus by the beach. Ichigo could have stayed with her parents and commuted to college, but the university is about an hour away from our hometown by train. Figuring that it wouldn't be worth the time or the money to commute, she decided to rent a place closer to her university instead, with a bit of financial help from her parents. She didn't move into this small apartment on her own though. She invited me along for the ride too, and after some deliberation I decided to accept the offer. I didn't have any real reason to leave home, but it was starting to feel kind of stifling. What with my mum breathing down my neck about my failed entrance exams, I wanted to get away from my parents, crush expectations, and take in the soothing sea air. I moved in with Ichigo a month ago at the start of the semester. Since then, I started looking for a job. Took me a while, but I've finally made progress. I should be working at Miyamori's cafe soon. I'm relieved things have gone so smoothly, but I think Ichigo might be happier about this turn of events than I am. I texted her about my success before I got back home, so she must know about it already. That explained her bright, beaming smile, which stretches almost from ear to ear. I'm so pleased for you, Naoya. Congratulations on your new job. Ichigo doesn't actually clap. She can't. Her hand is occupied with a ladle. She's standing in the kitchen by the stove, a frilly apron laid atop her casual clothes. She's cooking something, though I'm not sure what. Maybe chicken curry? There's a chopping board on the counter covered in bits of diced carrot and onion, and the aroma of curry roux is heavy in the air. Steam's beginning to waft from the rice cooker, and the kitchen smells amazing. It's kind of messy in here. Ichigo isn't the tidiest of people, but I don't mind that. It makes the house look lived in. Ichigo and I have only been here a month, but it feels homely already. Thanks, Ichigo. I appreciate it. What are you cooking? Oh, it's just my chicken curry. Ah, I knew it. It's a simple dish, but I know you're fond of it, so I thought I'd whip up something nice to celebrate your new job. I dashed all the way to the supermarket as soon as lectures let out, and I found the juiciest chicken breast I could. It was kinda expensive, but I think it'll be worth it. This will be a chicken curry to remember. I'm gonna add in lots of onions too. I know you like onions, and carrots, and potatoes. The curry will be chock full of all the things you like. I picked up some beer too, so we can have a real proper party. And I have caramel pudding for dessert. Let's, have some fun, okay? That sounds great. Thanks for doing all of this for me, Ichigo, but you didn't need to. I didn't want to be a burden. It's no burden, silly. Ichigo refutes me, as she always does, with a blinding smile. I'm doing this because I want to. I enjoy cooking, but it's always more fun cooking for other people than on my own. Ichigo isn't the tiniest person in the world. She's not what I would call a Yamato Nadeshiko, not by any stretch of the imagination. She's sloppy and forgetful. She always misplaces things about the house. She doesn't make her bed in the morning. She forgets to put her clothes in the laundry basket. And I've found discarded pairs of her cute pink undies on the bathroom floor before. She's messier even than I am. When it comes to cooking, however, she's no slouch. She used to make me lunch every day back at high school before I fell in with the bad crowd. And they were unfailingly delicious and nutritious. White rice, ginger, chicken, pickles, rolled egg omelette, hamburger steak, you name it. Ichigo can cook it. She's incredible with her hands. I love seeing other people enjoy my food. You especially, Naoya. You're always so complimentary. Of course I am. Your food's amazing. It deserves nothing but the highest praise. In fact, I think it's wasted on a guy like me. Not at all. I wouldn't enjoy cooking half so much if I wasn't doing it for you. Now, won't you let me pamper you? Please, please, please. I still feel kind of bad, but if you're sure, I'm very sure. Tonight's dinner is going to be one to remember. It'll be an epic meal for the ages. I'll hold you to that. You've talked your curry up so much, I'm expecting nothing less than perfection. Oh, you know me. My curry's even better than perfect. Ichigo giggles. I made a huge batch, so I hope you're hungry. I, can't wait to feed you. I want to see you savor my food. Nothing makes me happier than seeing you smile. Several hours later. I can still eat more. I want more. Jeez. I stand over Ichigo's comatose body, arms folded. Ichigo was pretty enthusiastic while she was cooking, but I think she must have tired herself out. She's been working hard, what with her university course. I guess her hard work's taking its toll on her. It's not even 22 yet, but she's passed out, stone cold on the couch. One of her pigtails is beginning to come loose of its tie. Her hair fans messily across her face. Her clothes are rumpled. When I crouch beside her, I can hear her mumbling under her breath. Naoya, give my pudding back. Give it back. I want it. You're a bully. But if you feed me, I'll forgive you. Now, what is she blabbing about? She's lost in La La Land. Maybe I should try to wake her. Ichigo, hey, Ichigo. I give her shoulder a shake, but she doesn't reply. Instead, she shies away from me and mumbles deliriously. Ah, you're so forceful when you touch me there. It feels so good. If Ichigo was anybody else, I'd think she was trying to make me squirm. But I'm not buying it. She's too good-natured to do anything of the sort. I think she's genuinely out of it. What a pain. I give her another shake. Ichigo, hey, Ichigo, you can't spend the night on the couch. You'll catch a cold. It's fine. I'll be okay if I'm with you. You're so nice and warm. I want to cuddle and eat pudding. I thought my entreaties might have reached her for a second there, but apparently not. She started to snore. She looks kind of cute, actually, her rumpled appearance notwithstanding. I've never really thought of Ichigo as a member of the opposite sex. I've known her for far too long. But sometimes, in moments like this, I'm taken aback by her good looks. She's undeniably adorable, vulnerable too. If I wanted, I could bend down and claim those first lips of hers in a kiss. But, of course, I'm not going to do that. We're just friends. Why am I thinking stuff like this anyway? I must be tired too. Get it together. I slap my cheeks with both hands. Then I give Ichigo a shake. Ichigo, can you hear me? No dice, huh? Now, this has presented me with something of a pickle. What am I to do? I guess I've got no choice. Sorry, Ichigo. I'm not trying to cop a feel. I'll be gentle, I swear. I bend down, then pull Ichigo into my arms. I'm every bit as gentle as I promised. She doesn't stir even when I lift her into the air. She's cradled against my chest now, like an overgrown baby, her golden eyelashes tightly shut. Naoya. She mumbles softly, a sweet smile playing about her lips. You smell good. I wish we could stay like this. You're so strong and reliable. I don't know about that. You're actually kind of heavy. Ichigo is quite slender, but she's still she's still a full-sized human being. She weighs way more than a bag of groceries. My arms are starting to ache, and I've only been holding her for a little while. I need to get her to her room ASAP. Fortunately, we live in an apartment, not a full house. All our rooms are on one floor, so I don't need to worry about scaling any pesky stairs. I exit the living room, walk through the nondescript hallway, then step inside Ichigo's bedroom. I lay her body down upon her bed carefully, despite the aches in my arms, doing my best not to jostle her. There we go. I wiped my hands down on my pants, as one might after holding in a sack of potatoes. Not that Ichigo is that heavy or that shapeless. Then I pulled the blankets up under her chin and ruffled the top of her head. Sweet dreams, my princess. Sleep well. Ichigo giggled softly, her cheek pressed against her sheets. You're so nice, just like a prince. When I get older, I want to marry you. This sweet, sleepy compliment makes my heart skip a beat. I wonder how I should feel about this. I wouldn't mind marrying her either. It might be a little weird to think this about my best friend, but sometimes I think I wouldn't mind marrying her either. We've been together for so long. We're almost like a married couple. Our parents always used to ask us when we were kids when the wedding would be. I know they were joking, but their jibs always made me blush. I've got to thinking as of late that I wouldn't mind deepening our relationship. But I'm a little hesitant to broach this subject with Ichigo. I don't want to risk making her uncomfortable, and I definitely don't want to spoil our relationship. For the present, I'll pretend she never said that. It's for the best, right? The next morning. I'm late. I'm like totally friggin' late. I've got to get to class right now. Where did I put my other shoe? Ichigo tears about the house in a whirlwind of nervous energy and long, blonde hair. Her eyes are comically wide and she stumbles over her. She stumbles over her own feet on a couple of occasions. I watch her as she flaps about, unperturbed. I'm used to this. Naoya. Hey, Naoya. Ichigo stares at me wide-eyed, her hands clasped together at her front. Have you seen my other shoe? I'm not sure. Where did you have it last? Yesterday, I took them off at the front door after I got in from buying all the food at the convenience store. At least, I think so, dude. Ichigo's brow furrows. They should be around here somewhere, but I can only find one. Where is it? I can't have gone very far without a foot inside it. Shoes can't walk on their own. Are you sure you took them off at the front door? Why wouldn't I? That's just common courtesy. You'd think that, yeah. But you have a habit of forgetting these things. I, like many other kids, was taught from childhood to take my shoes off the moment I step inside. It's something I've done for years, and it's become part of my daily routine, just like clockwork. Ichigo, however, is a special case. She's very forgetful, and sometimes removing her outdoor shoes slips her mind. She'll be in the kitchen cooking dinner, and suddenly she'll pause, look at her feet, then gasp in surprise. What? I'm still wearing my shoes? How did that happen? She usually exclaims, as though some malevolent magic magical force put her sneakers back on her feet when she wasn't looking. She's tracked dirt inside the house a couple of times already. It's a bit of a pain, but I can't really begrudge her for it. I know she doesn't mean to cause any problems, and besides, the only one she's inconveniencing right now is herself. I'm sure I took my shoes off at the door. One of those. One of them is here, at least. I apologize for yawning so much. Maybe you put one back and forgot the other? Have you tried checking under the kitchen table? Or behind the couch? Behind the couch? Ichigo's brow furrows. But at this point, I'm desperate. I'll try anything. Ichigo stares about the living room. She crawls on her hands and knees, looking behind the TV, the bookshelves, and then... Aha! Under the couch. It was there after all. Ichigo retrieves her missing shoe from its hidey hole, then gets to her feet, clutching the shoe to her chest like a talisman. Is she afraid it'll sprout wings and flutter away? She looks at me and says, "Thank you, Naoya. You're so smart. I'd, lose my head if I didn't have you." It's fine. I'm happy to help. Besides, it was just a lucky guess. You say that, but your lucky guesses almost always turn out to be right. You're the one who helped me find my cell phone when I dropped it, and my favourite hair tie, and my newest Hoshizora Shiori CD. You must be like some sort of human treasure magnet. That's one disaster averted, but Ichigo's eyes start to the clock on the wall. It's getting even later. Time has a tendency to do that, yeah. It waits for no man, or so I've heard. Crap, I'm gonna be late for sure. Sorry, I couldn't make you any breakfast, Naoya. I've gotta head out now, right now. But good luck on your job. You have your first shift today, don't you? Uh-huh. I'll do my best. You always do. I'm sure your boss will love you, and your new colleagues too. Go out there and suck a dead, okay? Make good crowd. Now you sound like a baseball coach. I did used to watch baseball with my dad. He was pretty into it. I don't get to feel myself, though. You mean because there aren't enough cute girls? There are never enough cute girls. The world needs more adorable idols and more capable nurses. Yeah, that's right. I'm a nurse in training myself, and I've got a lecture to get to. See you later. Have fun. You too. I wave Ichigo goodbye and watch, amused, as she slips on her shoe and finally leaves the house. She closes the door behind her with a resounding thud. And then, after that, there's nothing. It's very quiet, almost eerily so. Ichigo makes a lot of noise, but I've grown used to it. Her constant, cheery chatter is a comfort. Without it, the atmosphere in our apartment feels somber and staid. Oh well, there's no use sitting here moping. Today's the day I start my brand new job. I wonder how it'll go. I guess there's only one way to find out. I yawn. One hand pressed to my mouth. As I walk along the seafront, it's a pleasantly warm morning, and I can feel the salty sea air running its invisible fingers through my hair. I can hear the sounds of the waves lapping against the sand in the distance, and the calling of the gulls as they dance in the air. Today will be my very first shift in the seaside cafe, and I'm cautiously optimistic about it. Miss Miyamori seems to like me already, can't say too much, and while Q and Mayuki weren't exactly welcoming, Mayuki did call me a creep, I have some hope. I think if given enough time, I'll be able to win them over. It'd be nice to have a few more friends other than Ichigo. I know I used to be a delinquent, but I don't want to be a complete loner. Speaking of my new colleagues, isn't that cute? I'm pulled out of my reverie by the sight of a familiar face. She's wandering along on the beach, about a few feet away from me. She's attired, not in her maid's garb, but in casual clothes. I've not seen her don before a ruffled blouse and a denim skirt. She might look different, but I recognize her with ease. That dreamy, misty look on her face is the same as it was yesterday, as is her gait. She's promenading along the sands very slowly, as though lost in her dreams. Isn't she aware that our shift starts in 15 minutes? If she doesn't pick up the pace, she'll be late. I'm a bit worried about being late too, but still, I found myself jogging over to her. Hey, Q! Oh, Q blinks, her pale eyelashes trembling, and turns her head. She frowns. It's the creep. Ah. I laugh awkwardly, running a hand through my hair as I do so. That's what Mayuki said, isn't it? I remember that, at least. Huh? You mean you don't remember my real name? Q shakes her head. That might be a problem. I don't think you should call me a creep while we're at work. No? No, it wouldn't make a good impression on our customers. Then what should I call you? Naoya. That's what I'm called. Naoya. Q's brow furrows with what seems a commendable effort. Is memorizing my name that much of a challenge for her? I'll try to remember it. Good. So, what are you doing? Going to work. Right. I should have figured. That makes sense. I'm still curious about something, though. Do you usually walk along the beach before you go to work? Sometimes. I wait expectantly, but Q doesn't elaborate. Is that all she's got to say? No explanation? I guess she's a woman of a few words. How mysterious. So, what do you usually do on the beach? Stand. Stand. Sometimes sit. Right. So, I take it you like the beach? Q nods. She's not very talkative, is she? What do you enjoy about the beach the most? The waves. They sound nice. I think I'm starting to get somewhere with this girl. Stony faced though she might be. I'm glad her reply was so reassuringly normal. A lot of people like listening to the waves. The sound of the waves makes me think of lost souls screaming. I like that. Right. I take all that back. You isn't normal at all. Hey, Naoya. Huh? What is it? We have a bit of time, so do you want to tell me? Do you want me to tell you your fortune? My fortune? Q nods. I have my tarot cards with me. Would you like to know what they have to say? I can't say I've ever given my future much thought, but if you're that invested, I guess you can give it a shot. Since it's my first day on the job, I'd like some reassurance that it'll go well. Unfortunately, I can't do that. Your future could be good or bad. It's not up for me to decide. I guess that's down to the cards, huh? No, the cards show you your future, but they do not decide it. That is already set in stone. Right, so they're like a conduit? She nods. Maybe called you a creep, but I think she was wrong. You seem nice to me, and you're rather intelligent. Well, thanks. I smile. So, how's about my fortune? Can you use the cards to show me how my day will go? Q nods. Let me see. She reaches into a pouch, fastens to her belt, then selects a card from within. I think she's doing it at random, but if pressed, I'm sure she'd say this is all down to the whims of fate. She examines the card and frowns. I see. What do you see exactly? Look. She flips the card over to reveal an image of a tower being struck by lightning. I don't know anything about tarot cards or what they represent, but this image of the crumbling tower looks a bit disconcerting. Surely that can't be a good sign. I guess I'm glad Q didn't pull a super ominous card like death, but it doesn't bode well. What does that mean? The tower can mean many things: change, destruction, and confrontation. But I think it relates to you in a very specific way, which is, it's a warning. You should be wary of tsundere maids. If you're not careful, you'll get into big trouble. Tsundere maids? I frown. Are you talking about Mayuki? You'll find out soon enough now. Q slots the card back into her pack and offers me a very small, faint smile. Shall we be on our way? Right. I accompany Q to the seaside cafe in companionable silence. Neither of us speaking during our walk. I ruminate on Q's ominous words. Is something bad really going to happen? My first day working at the seaside cafe, and I'm doing my best to get to grips with the basics. I've never worked as a waiter before, and there's quite a lot for me to learn in a relatively short period of time. I'm doing my best to keep up with my new workload, but despite my best efforts, I still end up making mistakes. Yeah. I was in the process of delivering an order to the kitchen when I just so happened to bump into Miyuki. And I mean that in a literal sense. Oh. My raven-haired colleague is now sprawled on the ground, her stocking legs spread in quite a compromising manner. The full hem of her frilly skirt is rumpled, and rather a lot of her plump thighs are on display. In that pose, her cheeks slightly flushed, she looks good enough to eat. But speaking of food, Mayuki was supposed to be carrying an ice cream sundae on the table 13 before I knocked her. Now, said ice cream sundae is lying on the floor. Melting strawberry ice cream is scattered everywhere, like something from a crime scene, and the fluted glass it was served in has shattered. I hope Mayuki didn't cut herself. Are you alright, Mayuki? What? Mayuki looks a little dazed after her tumble. She rubs her temple with one hand, her eyes unfocused. Forget lacerating herself on the glass. Now I'm starting to worry she has a concussion. I've only been at this job for a few hours. I might have injured one of my co-workers for life. Hey, Mayuki. I believe that's going to be a crouch. I crouch in front of her, mindful of the broken glass, and wave one hand in front of her face. Can you see my hand? How many fingers am I holding up? Mayuki blinks, and she frowns. Yokoyama. So she remembers my name. That's a relief. It seems all her memories are in order, at the very least. I'm glad she doesn't have amnesia, but Yokoyama, you cretin. Soon I begin to wish she did. The shock of her stumble must have finally worn off. Mayuki holds herself to her feet, her legs trembling, and glowers at me. Her eyes are hard and serious, positively burning with indignant rage. That expression wouldn't look out of place on a serial killer. Not that I've met many serial killers in my time. If she had a katana, she'd probably cut my head off. How could you be so careless? Look at the mess you've made. I wouldn't have dropped the ice cream sundae if it weren't for you. Now, the floor's all sticky. And there's glass everywhere. It's a health hazard. Are you trying to make a nuisance of yourself on purpose? Is that why Ayane hired you? Well, if she wanted to employ a clown, she certainly made a good decision. Throw a whole circus onto yourself. I'm sorry, Mayuki, it was an accident. Don't call me Mayuki, we're not friends. In fact, we scarcely know one another. Let's just start pouring down rain. I'm Shinonome to you. Nothing more and nothing less. Am I making myself clear? Quite clear. And another thing. Crap. Mayuki's really starting to lose it. Damn, it's really storming out. She doesn't just look mad, she looks downright pissed. It looks like I'm going to be in for a pretty long lecture. And to make matters worse, this is happening in broad view of all the Seaside Cafe patrons. They're all watching us, and they're all snickering. Mayuki's sure going to town on the new guy, isn't she? I must feel sorry for him. Well, he does deserve it. He has caused quite a mess. I'd be upset too if I were in Mayuki's position. You're being too hard on me. If anything, I'm grateful. We were almost treated to an eyeful of Mayuki's panties thanks to his clumsiness. If only her skirt could have flipped up a few more inches. Now I'm curious. I wonder what colour she's wearing. Mayuki pauses midway through her lecture. Her right eye twitches and her fingers clench into fists at her sides. If she wasn't so dedicated to her role of being a waitress, I think she would have slugged these guys, and for good reason. They're not being very discreet. In any event, Mayuki clears her throat. Let's leave this for later. I'll give you a proper talking to when our shift ends. Away from the customers, I don't want to bother them. For now, you should at least clean up the mess you made. That glass needs to be swept up ASAP. Do you think you can do that, Yokoyama, or are you planning to mess that up too? I'll do my best, Shinonome. Good. see to it that you do. Honestly, Mayuki scowls. I have no idea why I hired you. You're not making my job any easier. You really need to get it together, otherwise heads will roll. So, saying, Mayuki stalks off to deep sighs of admiration from the customers. Mayuki's so cute when she gets angry. I wish she'd insult me too. Her flushed face is especially adorable. I shoot these two guys a sideways glance. Their comments are actually making my skin crawl. Jeez, I sighed. I guess Hugh's warning this morning had some merit to it after all. Today has not been a good day for me or Mayuki. Alright, Yokoyama, listen here. Mayuki rounds off the moment the cafe closes, her eyes narrowed. She's so frustrated. She hasn't taken her frilly made attire off. She's still wearing her cute black dress and a pair of cat ears that go alongside with it. I'm still wondering about those cat ears. They don't seem to be a part of the Seaside Cafe dress code. Cute, strange, though she doesn't wear those hats. But I don't have a chance to ask. Mayuki's busy lecturing. I know it's your first day at the job, but you really have to be more careful. You could have seriously hurt me. I know, I'm sorry. It was a mistake. I realize this isn't much of an excuse, but it was my first day and you were nervous, huh? Mayuki snorts. You're right. It's not much of an excuse. It is my job to serve my customers to the best of my ability. Given my position as a waitress, I am supposed to look dignified at all times. Sure, I understand. I'm sorry. You say that, but I don't think you do understand. Not really. You made a huge mess. Now, will you promise not to do it again? I'll try, but trying is not good enough. If you can't obtain results, you have no reason to continue working in this establishment. Your clumsiness will drag the rest of us down with you. Use that brain of yours. I'm sure you must have one. Of course I have a brain. If I didn't, I'd literally be dead. I almost wish you were. I wish you'd never set foot in this place. Hey. I frowned. I did screw up pretty bad earlier. If Mayuki wants to hold a grudge, I can't really blame her, but isn't she taking things a bit too far? Can't you try and be a bit nicer? It was an honest mistake, you know. As if that makes it better. You don't understand at all. You're so thoughtless. Hey, Miyuki, don't call me by my first name so easily. It's not like we're friends or anything. That's Shinonome. Alright, Shinonome. I sighed. This situation is getting out of hand. How should I reply? I see. Yeah, it's best not upsetting her further, especially when she's so upset already. I'll play at being Mr. Nice Guy and, with some luck, that should diffuse the situation. I sure hope it does, at least. Once again, I really am sorry, Mayuki. I'll be more careful in the future, I promise. I can tell you take your job seriously, and I have no desire to get in your way. Well, you would be right about that, at the very least. Mayuki harumphs, her arms folded across her chest. I work far, far harder than you could ever imagine. That's right, she does. Hugh, who has already changed into her casual clothes, that was fast, appears beside us as if by magic. Mayuki was clumsy when she started working here. She dropped plates a lot and spilled tea on people's laps. The clientele complained to Ayane. They were very upset. They said Mayuki was incompetent. Huh? Really? Mayuki projects such an unassailable aura of perfection. what with her cool, haughty demeanour, I never would have pegged her for a clumsy girl. What? No! Maybe self-righteous indignation begins to falter. Her face turns red and she scowls at you. Don't tell Yoko Yama that. He doesn't need to know. My past is completely irrelevant. Oh, right. You head hangs. I apologize. I was trying to help. I want Naoya to know that you're not being pissy for taking her. You've worked hard. I'm proud of you. Good job. Q gives Naoki a thumbs up and Miyuki sighs. It seems some of the tension in the air has been diffused, thanks to Q. But because Miyuki no longer looks so angry when next she regards me, she's still upset. That much is obvious given her flushed face. But she doesn't look ready to castrate me anymore. I guess that's progress. Yeah, whatever. Maybe I am taking this a bit too seriously. Jeez, is what I'd like to say, but I abstain. Naoki is only just calmed down. I don't want to rile her up again. I know it was an accident. I don't think you're the sort of person who'd knock a girl down on purpose. It still hurt a lot. Naoki pouts. But I shouldn't be so angry. We're supposed to be colleagues. If we're going to work together, we need to learn how to get along. I have to let my anger go while you make stabs a finger in my direction. Need to work on your coordination. Do you think you can do that? I'll try my best. Good. I suppose that is all I can ask for. None of us are perfect. I made mistakes when I first started out too. So, I'll let you off the hook just this once. Don't expect this to happen again though. You and I are not friends. I have no interest in getting to know you. Don't get the wrong idea, you idiot. Maggie turns her nose up in the air and then stalks off to the break room. I guess she's going to get changed into her casual clothes. I haven't seen Maggie in her casual clothes before. Actually, I'm kind of curious what she wears when she isn't working as a waitress. But I know better than to follow her into the staff room to take a sneak peek. Maggie hates me enough as it is. I don't want to incur her ire further by blundering in on her in the middle of getting undressed. Knowing her, she'd probably punch me and call me a pervert. Jeez. I massaged my temple. I think I can feel a headache coming on. Today could have gone better. It could also have gone worse. I guess that's true. Thanks for stepping in, Q. If it weren't for you, maybe you might have blown a gasket. It's alright. I know how to handle her. We've been friends a long time. How long? Since kindergarten. We were 3 years old when we met. Damn. I whistle. I've known Ichigo for about as long as that myself, but it's not really the same. Ichigo is very bubbly, cheerful girl, while Mayuki is most definitely not. I've had the pleasure of spending a few hours with her, and I'm already tired of her. I can't imagine spending years by her side. Has Mayuki always been this, short-tempered? She nods. She got into fights a lot, usually with the boys. She doesn't like boys. I guess she hasn't changed much over the years. How on earth did you put up with her for all of this time, without going mad? I don't know. Maybe I was mad already. Coming from anybody else, I'd take that line as a throwaway joke, but it hits a little differently when spoken in Q's cool monotone. Maybe she's being serious. Meiki isn't that bad though. She's nice deep down. It must be very, very deep down. I don't know. My other classmates teased me, but Mayuki never did. cares about justice. She's kind of like a superhero. But even superheroes make mistakes. She judges people too quickly and acts before she thinks. She isn't the smartest person, but I like her. I hope you will grow to like her too. I think that might be the most cues ever spoken in one go. Usually she communicates in and nods and half sentences. She really must like me, Mayuki, to orate for so long on her behalf. I don't know if I trust you, but she seems level-headed enough. Her interest in the occult aside, maybe I should make an effort to meet her halfway. I don't know if that'll happen, but I didn't start working here to make enemies. If Mayuki starts softening up, I'll respond in turn. I wouldn't mind being her friend. Good. I'm glad. Hugh smiles thinly. Then she rises on her tiptoes. I'm about a head taller than she is, and rests her palm atop my head. Rubbing my hair like one might stroke a cat, Hugh says in a gentle tone, There. I knew you were a good boy. Thank you for being so understanding. No problem. You don't need to thank me. You don't need to stroke me either. I'm not an animal. No, you're not. You're a Naoya. I think even Naoyas like being patted. There. Hugh continues to stroke the top of my head. I'm not entirely sure what to make of it, actually. It feels nice. But I don't really get why Kit is being so touchy-feely. I don't get her at all, if I'm being quite honest. But maybe that will come with time. It's fortunate that I have no shortage of that. The chances are high that I'll be seeing a lot of Q and Mayuki in the coming weeks. Can friendships really bloom under such inauspicious conditions? That's a new word. I'm not sure. But I'm not pessimistic enough to discount it offhand. Who knows? We might just get on better than I could ever anticipate. So how did things go? My first day at work has finally finished. Now I'm strolling along the street with Ichigo. We met up on the beach around 4:30 so we could pick up some groceries. Ichigo went shopping only yesterday, buying ingredients for my celebratory curry. But we're running perilously low on the essentials. We're all out of eggs, and we need spring onions, potatoes, cabbage, and a whole host of other ingredients. Ichigo and I usually go shopping together. It's easier to carry everything back home with 2 pairs of hands as opposed to 1. Did you have fun, Naoya? Ichigo walks in perfect sync with me, her hands linked at her front. It's a sunny day, and Ichigo's golden hair seems to glow, much like her bright, beaming smile. Ichigo smiles approximately 95% of the time. I'd expect nothing less from her. She'd be beaming even if the sky was overcast and the clouds were grey and swollen with burgeoning droplets of rain. Ichigo's a veritable ray of sunshine in her own right. Veritable. It's hard for me not to smile in return when I'm with her. So I feel pretty tired right now. I don't know if fun is quite the word, but I guess it didn't go too badly. I didn't kill anybody, at the very least. always a plus. It's important to look on the bright side. And how were your new colleagues? Did you get on well with them? I guess. My brow furrows. Actually, I'm not too sure. Koo doesn't seem that bad, though she is a bit strange. But as for Mayuki, I recall her slumped on the ground, legs flayed, the hem of her frilly dress all rumpled about her thighs. She looked stunned as she lay there, her mind struggling to register what exactly had happened. But in the moment she returned to her senses, she rounded on me like a wounded animal. If it weren't for Koo, I shudder to think what might have happened. She really might have ripped my head off. I don't think she likes me very much. Huh? Why not? What's not to like about you? You're a real swell guy. Thanks, Ichigo. I appreciate the vote of confidence. So, I think Mayuki would disagree with you there. There was a bit of a mishap at work. I can give Ichigo an abridged version of the day's events, and she gasps and cuts and frowns in all the right places. When I finally finish, she frowns and says, well, I didn't know you were, like, so clumsy. I'm not really. Not usually. I think it must have been the nerves. My hands were shaking pretty bad. I almost spilled a couple of cups of coffee, and I bit my own tongue when I was welcoming a customer. That would have been embarrassing enough, but then I had to bump into Mayuki. It sounds like you hit a real number on her. I knocked her flying. She hit the floor with a loud thud. It was pretty dramatic. Everybody in the cafe was staring. I would have stared too if I was there. And maybe I would have snapped a few photos, depending. Depending on what. So, you know, Ichigo grins salaciously. It's the sort of grin that would look pretty out of place in a creepy old uncle during a family get-together after having one too many drinks. Sorry, Uncle Ryuzaki. But it has to be said, you really are a creep. You couldn't see her panties, could you? I should have known you'd ask that. I take one of Ichigo's twin-tailed hands and give it a yank. I don't pull hard enough to hurt, but Ichigo still squeals all the same. It's so rough, Aoya. Don't give me that. You brought it upon yourself asking such inappropriate questions. Why'd you care about Mayuki's panties anyway? Why shouldn't I? You know how I feel about cute girls. I can't help but, like, take an interest. Yeah. I roll my eyes. You can be such a perv sometimes. Me? A perv? Never. I just want to know more about your co-workers, Aoya. I ask because I care. You care about Mayuki's panties that much, don't you? Not as much as you seem to. And I didn't see her panties, as a matter of fact. The maid dress at the Seaside Cafe have a lot of ruffles, so it is all the most important parts. That's like such a bummer. Ichigo kicks her tongue. You'll just have to bump into her again, and it's for science. What sort of science, exactly? I give Ichigo's twin tail another hug, which prompts a squeal high enough to make a nearby seagull scatter. And I'm in no rush to repeat the day's mistake. Mayuki was really upset that I bumped into her. I was afraid she was going to eviscerate me. She was that angry. Wouldn't you be if somebody bumped into you? I don't know. I don't get angry that often. It doesn't make sense to sweat the small stuff like life's too short. It'd be inconvenient, but I'm sure I'd live. It might actually be kind of nice being pushed down by you. Now you're making it sound like I did it on purpose. I sigh. I wish everyone could be as laid back as you. I would say I do try, but it just comes natural to me. This is just the way I am. Ichigo shoots me a peace sign as she so often does. It's pretty much her default go-to pose. All the photos I have of us together from middle school to the present day feature Ichigo striking a peace pose. She's always grinning from ear to ear too. You can't help but admire her devotion to non-stop around-the-clock cheeriness. I guess you've made an enemy of Mayuki then. I guess so. We didn't get into a real fight, but it came close. I'm a little worried about going back into work tomorrow. I don't want her holding a grudge. I'm sure you'll be okay, Maria. You might have got off to a bad start. That means your relationship has ample room to improve from here on out. If you're nice and polite to her, like you are to me, I'm sure you'll win her around. Don't lose faith, okay? Now, Ichigo pauses. Her hand is planted on her hips. It looks like we're at the supermarket. Let's stock up. Right. I guess it's time to put aside the day's concerns and enjoy the fray of frantic housewives. All searching for the best deals on chicken breasts and cartons of eggs. The supermarket can be a bloodbath around this time. We need to think up a plan of action and stick to it, or we'll get swept away. I did try to put the Seaside Cafe and Mayuki from my mind during my shopping trip, but... Is that you, Yokoyama? Mayuki? That's easier said than done, now that I've run into Mayuki, but this time, not literally. In the supermarket. This is the first I'm seeing her in her casual clothes. They give off quite a different impression to her maid's attire, but they're still cute, distinctly feminine. Her dark hair is loose as per usual, and it tumbles about her shoulders in waves. She looks good, but now's not the time to ponder such things. What are you doing here? Shouldn't I be here? Mayuki peers at me, one hand beneath her chin. Is there some sort of problem with that, Yokoyama? Oh, no, not at all. I was just surprised. Why? Mayuki's brow furrows. I'm only human. I have to eat to survive. And the supermarket is the closest to my home. I come here often. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Honestly, Mayuki sighs. The one here who doesn't make sense is you. Oh my, what's this? Ichigo skips over to us, clutching a bag of her favourite corn snacks to her chest. She drops the back into the basket, then examines Mayuki with curious eyes. Do you know this pretty girl in that area? Pretty? I don't think Mayuki was expecting this compliment, because her face turns pink. Shyly, she dips her head, then mumbles, Do you really think I'm pretty? Of course I do. You're, like, super duper cute, in a mature and refined kind of way. You look just like a regal lady. how'd you meet such a grade A cutie, Naoya? She doesn't work over at the cafe, does she? That's right, actually. This is Mayuki. Mayuki pouts. I thought I told you to call me Shinonome. It's not like we're friends. Right, I'm sorry. This is Shinonome. Shinonome Mayuki. She's a bit standoffish, and she doesn't like being called anything other than her family name. That's not true. I don't mind being called Mayuki by my friends, but you are most certainly not my friend. You haven't earned the right yet. Sorry about Naoya. You'll have to forgive him. He can be kind of dense when cute girls are concerned. It's alright, though. I know he has a heart of gold. I promise Naoya's a real nice guy, Mayuki. Can I call you Mayuki? So don't pout at him like that, please. He doesn't mean any ill will. Mayuki purses her lips together. My opinion of him is still undecided. He did not make a good first impression. But I suppose he cannot be all bad if a nice girl like you is willing to vouch for him. You said you are friends? Yep. Aoya and I go way back. We even used to bathe together. What? Mayuki raises her brows until they're swallowed by her blunt cut bangs. That's so immodest. How can you say something like that with a straight face? Aren't you ashamed of yourself? Oh, no, I think Ichigo might have given Mayuki the wrong impression. I guess it's down to me to smooth things over. We did bathe together, but that was back when we were very little kids. We were only babies at the time. I don't even remember it. Oh, right. Realization dawns upon Mayuki's face. She frowns. Well, why didn't you say that sooner? I figured it should go without saying. Naoya and I haven't bathed together in ages. Yes, and it would be better to keep it that way. What? How cold. I feel like I'm being rejected. I'm sure you'll get over it. I tug on one of Ichigo's twin tails and she squeaks. Mayuki's blue eyes dart between the pair of us. She frowns, her hand beneath her chin once more. She looks like a scientist in the midst of an experiment. Is she displeased with what she's seen? Mayuki is quite an uptight person. I fully expect her to snap at us for being too touchy-feely. But to my surprise, she doesn't shout. Instead, she smiles. It's a very small smile. So tiny one could be forgiven for missing it. But it makes an impression. I think this is the first time I've seen Mayuki smile. You two really must be close. You're bickering just like a married couple. Watching you reminds me of Ku and myself. Not that I would want to marry Ku, of course. Still, this is almost heartwarming. Maybe I was too quick to judge you, Yokoyama. I don't say this often, but, well, I can tell you're not a bad person. That's exactly what I was trying to say. He can be a bit dense, but he isn't bad. Not at all. If he was, he wouldn't be like my bestest friend ever. What a ringing endorsement. I will take that into consideration. In any event, it was nice meeting you, Yokoyama, and you, Miss... I'm Suzuki Ichigo, but you can call me Ichigo. You don't need to be formal around me. Ichigo, then. It is a pleasure. I would not mind talking a bit longer. I am sure you have a lot of embarrassing stories about Yokoyama's childhood to share with me. But I should get on. I need to cook for myself tonight. I was hoping to get some reduced packs before they clear out, but I'm not sure what would be best. Ooh, if you need any help picking and choosing, you can rely on me. I go grocery shopping all the time and know how to spot a bargain from a mile off. I can help you get the best bang for your buck. Really? Mayuki blinked. That is very kind, but I wouldn't want to bother you. No bother. We've got almost all the stuff we need. We were just about gonna check out, actually, when we saw you. I don't mean to be rude. It looks like you're struggling a little. You haven't put a single thing in your basket. Oh, yes. Mayuki glances at the basket hanging from the crook of her arm. Just like Ichigo said, it's empty. I was trying to find the best cuts of meat for the best possible price. But there were so many brands and options, I felt a bit overwhelmed. Truth be told, I don't cook for myself very often. I'm not good at it. I'm not used to it either. I'm a complete novice when it comes to domestic affairs. It is somewhat embarrassing. Mayuki sighs. I want to do my best in all areas. Who doesn't? But when I'm faced with a task I've not done before, I start to overthink myself. I get anxious, and then I find it hard to come to any decisions. That's why I've been dithering for so long. It's quite bothersome, really. I wish I had enough self-confidence to make mistakes. It's the best way to learn, after all. I should stop being such a perfectionist. You're probably right there, but don't worry. So long as you know there's a problem, I'm sure you'll be able to rectify it. I really don't mind helping out either. I can teach you all about budgeting just like that. Ichigo snaps her fingers. I can give you a few recipes too, if you need any help on that front. I love cooking. Well, if you're sure. Mayuki smiles, then bows her head. Thank you, Ichigo. I would be happy to accept your generous offer. Alright, let's get to it then. Yeah. If it's cheap but high quality chicken meat you're looking for, Ichigo picks up a few packs of chicken from the shelves and holds them up for Mayuki's inspection. She starts off some information about price versus quality and quantity, while Mayuki nods, her brow furrowed. She looks like she's taking this pretty seriously. She's such an honest student. Ichigo and I lead Mayuki about the supermarket for about 15 minutes. We both give her pointers. By the time we're done, her basket is laden with cheap but nourishing ingredients that should last for a while. We pay for our respective purchases together. Then we leave the supermarket laden with carrier bags. The sun is still high in the sky, and the gentle breeze which stirs my hair is warm. I can hear the faint sound of the gulls and smell the salt in the air. It is, all in all, a very pleasant day. Thank you very much. And it's made pleasanter still by the smile upon Mayuki's face. Your advice was indispensable, Ichigo. You are very wise. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm kind of stupid when it comes to most stuff, really. But if there's one thing I do know about, it's cooking. You can ask me whenever you need help in the kitchen. I'll be over in a shot. I'm just your friendly neighborhood Ichigo. So, thank you. Perhaps I will do that if I find myself making any complex dishes. And as for you, Yokoyama, Mayuki turns to me, her dark hair fluttering about her heart-shaped face. You are surprisingly dependable too. You taught me a lot about food storage and preparation I'd never thought of before. I am still a novice when it comes to the culinary arts, but I will strive to improve myself. I'll practice my cooking this evening, and I will keep all you told me in mind. I really do appreciate it. It's no problem. I returned Mayuki's smile with one of my own. I figured I owed you as much after I bumped into you at the cafe. I know I acted like an ass, and I'm sorry. Am I forgiven? Of course you are. I'm not so petty I would continue to hold a grudge after you have apologized. It's all water under the bridge. Great. I sigh in relief. Thanks, Mayuki. That's Shinonome to you. Mayuki's voice trails off, she frowns. But if you want to call me Mayuki, I suppose I have no real objection. I have never been addressed so casually by a boy before, and it is a bit embarrassing, but well, I suppose I can live with it. It would seem strange if I did not call you that when Ku does. Mayuki swallows, then glances at me shyly. I look forward to seeing you at work tomorrow, Naoya. Let's both do our best. I shoot Ichigo a sidewise glance. She's been grinning to herself about something or other ever since our chance encounter with Mayuki at the supermarket. She's walking as though she's on a cloud, her pigtails bouncing every step, and the hem of her skirt flutters around her thighs. She looks so happy. Her eyes are positively sparkling. It's all very curious. What's got you in such a good mood, huh? Nothing really. I'm just glad I was able to meet one of your colleagues. She was such a cute girl. I bet she could even make it as an idol if she learned to smile a little more. Now that's a bold statement. I don't know much about the idol industry, but I do know idols are supposed to have looks akin to goddesses. How does Mayuki stack up against the likes of Hoshizora Shiori? Ichigo's exaggerating. I have a few doubts about this. Mayuki is pretty, I'll give you that. But I don't know if she's an idol material. She seems a bit too, I don't know, ordinary. All idols are ordinary girls, you silly Naoya. That's the appeal of them. You've just got to pussy them up a bit, so they shine out. Makeup can work wonders, and so can creative camera angles. I guess. Not that I know much about the subject. You're way more clued in when it comes to this idol stuff than me. That should go without saying. Just call me the idol professor. If Ichigo had a pair of glasses, I'm sure she'd be sliding them up her nose right about now. One of Ichigo's many loves in life, in addition to food and small animals and idols, she owns a huge amount of merch and CDs, and her bedroom walls are positively plastered in posters of cheery, beaming girls wearing cute, frilly dresses. She's such a huge idol otaku. She could give even the most hardcore male fans a run for their money. It's actually like a total shame, Mayu. hasn't devoted her life to being an idol. She's too pretty to be a mere waitress. If she were to debut properly, I bet she could make a huge splash. I suppose it's possible, but I doubt Mayuki would be interested in that. I don't know Mayuki very well, but from little I've gleaned of her, she isn't the sort to court attention. She was so embarrassed after I bumped into her in the cafe. Her poor face went deep red. Could a girl like that endure the stares of thousands upon thousands of fans? She's nothing like Shiori. Shiori is one of Japan's top idols. She has this sweet, demure kind of look, with long, wavy hair and a gentle smile. Ichigo, my apologies. Ichigo adores Shiori, and her room is full of Shiori merchandise. When I think of idols, I think of Hoshizora Shiori. She is the undisputed queen of the entertainment industry. Well, that's to be expected. There aren't many people out there as suited for idolhood as Shiori. It's almost like she was born to be adored by legions of fans. She ever gets anxious, and she never makes mistakes. Shiori really is perfect. Ichigo sighs deeply, as she often does whenever she speaks of Shiori, and holds her free hand to her face. May you use like a lump of coal compared to her. She hasn't been put under enough pressure to transform into a diamond. But I think she could do it if she tried. Not all idols have to be the sweet and bubbly, you know. Some idols play characters, and these characters are pretty popular. Really? Yeah. You have your airhead ditzies, your stoic girls, your wild and carefree types. You name any trope, and there's an idol who'll cover it. Wow, I was thought. I thought idols were meant to sing and dance, but you're making them sound like actresses. They are, in a way. They have an image they need to uphold, and they work hard to maintain it. If they let their veneer slip, they'll disappoint their fans. Not all these airhead idols are actually airheads, and not all these stoic idols are really cool and emotionless. Not all sweet, bubbly idols are sweet and bubbly in real life, as a matter of fact. Idols pander to fantasy, so they have to wear masks. It's all, like, part of the job. That sounds kind of disingenuous. It is, sort of, but that's part of every job. Teachers have to be patient and understanding even if their students are being unruly. And nurses have to act nice, even if their patients are being rude. Idols are like that. They're just acting accordingly. Not only do they pour a lot of effort into singing and dancing, but they also need to work on their public image. They're working almost 24/7. Whenever they go out into the public eye, don't you think that's commendable? I guess, when you put it like that. I know, right? Ichigo beams happily. Idols are incredible. They're ordinary people like you or me. But they push themselves so they can become extraordinary. I've watched a lot of interviews about my favourite groups, and even I can't fathom how much sweat, blood and tears go into their careers. They work harder than most politicians, all so they can make us happy. That's why I'm a die-hard idol fan. I'll never stop loving them. Ichigo proclaims this boldly, her eyes shining with determination. By this point, we navigated away from the shopping street and out to the decidedly less crowded seafront. There are less people here to overhear it. But the sidewalk isn't deserted by any means. Everybody within our immediate vicinity must be aware of Ichigo's cheery cadence. From the old woman on the other side of the road to the dog walker strolling along the beach, we're courting a lot of curious stares. I'd be embarrassed if I weren't used to it. I got more than my fair share of stares in the past, when I was still a delinquent. Compared to that, this is nothing. Since it doesn't bother me, there's no point telling Ichigo to keep quiet. Why should I spoil her fun? You sure are passionate, huh? I smile. I can't imagine liking anything that much myself. I'm almost jealous. Really? Ichigo blinks at me, abashed. You're jealous of me? Yeah. I wish I had a hobby I could devote myself to like that. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun. I always do when I talk about idols. I try to keep it under wraps for the most part, though. I wouldn't want to bore you. It's fine. I'm not bored. I like hearing more about you and your interests, in fact. I've always been aware of Ichigo's fixation with idols. But I never knew her feelings for them were so personal. Oh, yeah. Ichigo smiles at me sweetly. You're so nice to me. I wasn't for a while. I'm trying to change that though. You're here for me, so I want to be here for you. You can talk to me about anything. I promise I won't judge you. Anything? You mean you'll even let me gush whenever Shiori releases a new single? You do that already. And you won't mind if I play Tropical Kiss over and over when I'm cooking in the kitchen? Again, you do that already. And you won't mind if I buy a vial of Shiori's bath water or her used socks or even her underwear? Sure, that... Wait, what? Can you buy stuff like that? It sounds like a breach of personal privacy. I've seen a few suspicious listings come up on auction sites. They usually get taken down though. I think they're just hoaxes. It'd be cool if they were real though. I wouldn't mind owning a pair of Shiori sweatpants or a towel, or even a tissue she used to blow her nose. That would make me, super happy. It would be worth even more than one of the Buddha things. Right. I was prepared to support Ichigo's idol obsession, no matter how intense it might be, but this might be the part where I bail. You can buy anything you want with your money, but you don't need to share that sort of thing with me. If you absolutely have to sniff Shiori's old socks, can you do that in your room? Oh, of course. Don't worry about that. I'll try and be discreet. Ichigo grins and gives me a salute. I'm really stuck on Mayu though. I think she'd make an amazing idol. She mightn't be able to be a pro like Shiori, but she could always be a maid idol. A maid idol? I look at Ichigo asking, what's that exactly? The clue's in the name. It's an idol who's a maid. I figured that much, but is that common? Are there a lot of maid idols? It's become more and more common lately. A lot of establishments, even prefectures, are turning to idols as a means to boost their engagement. You can find idols promoting schools, amusement parks, zoos, aquariums, and the like. And of course, there are idols who represent cafes. These are the maid idols you're talking about? Yep. There's a whole bunch of them in Tokyo. Also, I've heard they're not as common outside the city, but they're still cropping up. Cafe idols or maid idols are waitresses who work at cafes. Sometimes they perform songs and dance inside their cafes, kind of like mini lives. They do it to drum up more of an interest in their business. Like other idol groups, they also record music videos and post them online, and they have social media accounts. They upload photos of themselves and clips of them rehearsing, and they interact with all their fans. They're not professionals like Shiori is. They're more like amateurs, really. Being an idol is something they do on the side. They're still waitresses, first and foremost. They don't tend to have managers, and they don't usually perform their own songs. They mostly do covers. They're still popular though, because they're more accessible than megastars. You don't need to buy dozens of CDs in the hope of winning a ticket to a handshaking event. You can just drop by the place they work to see them if you want. I think it's like a really cool concept. I follow a lot of cafe idols online, and some of them are very cute. I have a lot of favorites. It's still a developing trend, but I think maybe it'd make for a great cafe idol. Here she goes, sighs dreamily, one hand pressed to her cheek. I would love to see that. I'd pay a whole month's worth of my allowance if I could see her sing and dance just once. She's so cute. It'd be a shame if she didn't. Now I'm imagining it. I'm getting, like, all fired up. She's just so cute. I can't bear it. It looks like all this talk of maids has short-circuited Ichigo's brain. She's lost in her own fantasies, completely oblivious to the world around her. The old woman on the other side of the street gives her a concerned look, then hurries on. The dog walker on the beach, meanwhile, starts to snigger. Did he hear everything she just said, even the stuff about Shiori's sweaty sock? If so, he'll probably be thinking that Ichigo's some sort of degenerate. And he might have a point. The love for idols is intense. I hope it doesn't get her into any trouble. I'm pondering this when I notice something out of the corner of my eye, or, to be more precise, someone. There we are. We have make a save here, the triangle. Alrighty, well, I think I'm going to leave the episode here. We've come to 2-hour mark. I think this is a good spot to leave part 1. We've earned a couple of the trophies. 4 out of the 13. Really good. We're technically like one third there. We've answered 5 out of the 16 questions, I believe. I've got it all written down and everything just to make sure. So, yeah, we answered 5. So, yeah, I'll probably split this into 3 parts as well. I'll probably do part 2 up to either another 5 questions to the next trophy pop, or up until just after question 13, where we make the main manual save and leave part 3 for the alternate endings. But I'm going to leave this episode here. I've had a lot of fun reading and enjoying Would You Like to Run an Idle Cafe, and I hope you have enjoyed it as well, and I hope you will come and join me for part 2 and see this through to its conclusion. So thank you for your time, have a wonderful day, and take care of your health. Remember to smile as well. It'll all be okay. And if you ever need a laugh, I'm sure I've got something on my channel that can help brighten your day. Alright, see you everyone.